Hello everyone, welcome to Django tutorial. You're learning Django with DivK Learner. So today we'll continue with the same part of the basic programming that we were working on. And this, back to home. And we'll be working on the remaining part of the code which we are doing, which is in and not in. So let's very quickly go into the part of it. So in the demo that I'll be showing you about how you can use the in and not in part of it. So before I go in there, I request you, if you're a newcomer, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like the videos, you can like and subscribe it and share it as well with the people who can learn Django for their coding. I will be getting more information about Django, so I'll be creating more projects, and even I'll be trying to make it more going towards the professional part of it, as in how you can deploy it on the production and the other part of it. So very quickly, coming back to the demo. So in this demo, what I have done is I've not made any changes in my form. I've kept it the same way, except that I've put down the initial values for num1 and num2. That's one thing that I've done. Then the other thing that I've done is I've gone into the view part here, and this is where I've done everything. So this part here that you see is where I have worked on my demo objects.values.list, and I'm taking the value of the employee's name, which is coming in the text box, and I'm checking it that whether it is available there in that list or not. And if it is available in that list, I'm putting in I'm trying to create a flat equal to true so that I get it as a flat in the query string, and then the list will be converting it into the list. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick this up and let's just try to print it here so that I can show you what value will it be showing. And let me just pick this up as well and keep it here as well so that it tells me if it is going into the else part as well. It still shows us the list. So I think it is not copied. Oh, it is pasted, but I pasted it twice. So let me just do a Control Z. So it is pasted one now. So now I'll just save it. After saving it, I need to go into the terminal part of it and run it. But before I run it, I have just passed this value, the employee ID str, in the employee ID str PRA. And this is what I'm using in the HTML page. I'm just simply writing down the value of it. I'm not doing much because I'm from here in the views, I'm passing the text value. So how I'm just passing the text value here in the first case, if we finds the value in there, it is giving you the value of the ID. But one employees can have multiple, well, one name can be for multiple employees as well. In this case, I'm just putting in the first. I know that it is not correct to place it like that, but we can certainly work on first name and last name because we need to identify them uniquely. So again, this is the way that we can find out the ID. And we have written down filter where I'm saying employee first name. That's the value that I have in the object of my demo, where I'm passing the div1 value. Then the first gives you the first value. If it returns more than first one list, then ID would be returning ID. So that's what I have done here. And then in the home page, I've just written down the value. So we have already, let me just start running this code. Yeah. It gives me this command and I hit enter and it runs. I know that my system is working a bit slow. So I'll wait till it execute and our local server is running. Yeah, sorry, it's my fault. I've written down py at the end of it. I'll recheck and reconfirm or re-edit it that we have the right one. So my server's running now. I'll go in here and I will go to the home page. Because of the settings that I've placed in, you can see that I have all the default values there. And I'm just checking with this column, which is the dev employee ID. If I click on submit, it will give me all the values. And it will say, hi, Sachin. And it is saying you're not an employee because he doesn't exist in the list of employees. So let's click on there and then see. So these are the name of the employees that we have. So we have two couples, one Arun, one Radha. So if I now, instead of this, put in Radha and click on submit button, it will give me the ID of Radha as well. The ID is 5. Although it's not showing me here, but the ID is 5 for her. And then let me just check for couple, because we have two couples. So it will give you the first ID for couple. So the first ID should be 6. So that's what we get here, couple and 6. So this is a demo in which I wanted to show you about the in-pot. So I did all of this because I wanted to get it in the form of the list. And then this in is checking, will be returning true if the name that you have passed in there is in that list that we have in the MySQL database that we have created. If it is not, it will give you, it will write down the value, it doesn't exist. The same thing that I'm doing here as well. This is when you go to the else part, this is the else part where I'm saying that divk username not in that list. If that is not in the list, then employee str is you're not an employee. That's another way of writing down. It is redundant, but in order to make it special, I'll just write down 1. And here I'll write down a different value, emp id str a1. And after the colon, I'll write down this value. So now if I save it by going into the file and save all, this will reload the page. That's what it's saying, it is reloading. So once it has loaded, we will go back to the page and try to run it again. So this time we should get 2 outputs. We will not get 2 outputs because we have not used that in the HTML page. So here, 1 bracket to bracket value, 1 bracket to bracket. So now if I resave it, it will reload. And I will get the value twice if the user does not exist. This is what I was talking about here when you're there in the view. This part here where I was talking about list, this part is converting the value of in the system to the list. Now coming back here and refreshing it. So because Sachin is not an employee for us, it's giving me an error. Cannot locate local variable emp id str1, which is not associated with the value. Yeah, so I think that's the error because we have not initialized it anywhere. So I will go on the top and enter, which is equal to and let me just save it again. It will take its own time to execute, and when it has been executed, you will not get that error. Let's come back and refresh the page. So it is saying twice, your employee ID is 6, you are not an employee. So only one thing that I have to do, I don't want them to be in the same line. So here I'll write down here. And the other thing that I have to do is I have to go back to the employees view, because these values are holding those values every time. And I'll save it again. And let's just now try to see if it is reloading the page. Yeah. What I've done is I've pre-initialized it, those values. You're not an employee, you're not an employee, you're not an employee. We are getting it every time because that's what we are passing there. So I'll write down an else part here as well. Else. This will become the returning employee. So I'll just click on save all, go in there and refresh it. That means it is not loaded up completely. So now I'm going to refresh the page. Continue. So it says returning employees because earlier it was it's still having couples value there. And here I'll write down this will say the employee ID doesn't exist. And let's just put in couple or hello. Enter. The below one shows that it is a returning employee, the other one shows that it does not exist. So this was the other thing that I wanted to show. In the next demo, I'll be showing about is and not is in a similar way. So with that, we have come to the end of our lecture. So let it load because my system is being a bit weird today. I'll go to topics and then thanks. So I thank you. I thank you for learning and listening with me. I hope we have moved a bit forward in our learning. I'll request you, if you like what I'm doing and feel we can help others, so please share the videos with them, like them as well. And if you're new and if you want to keep updated with the latest part of the technology and learn bit by bit every day, you can connect me by subscribing to the channel. And with that, I wish you a great end of the day or great part of the day wherever you are. And bye bye.